What's up YouTube, it's NG, the Neon X, and I'm back. Today I'm into foldable phones. If you are a phone enthusiast and aren't even cautiously excited about the new wave of foldables about to be unleashed upon the mobile market, you might want to have yourself checked. I say this because the new wave is becoming more and more talked about, more and more in the public eye. The foldable future I have talked about since the first Galaxy Fold is finally coming to fruition. The prices are coming down. Like I said, the devices themselves are becoming more mainstream, and it's just a good time to be excited about foldable technology. So this video has been in the making for the past week or so. Not in the fact that I have all kinds of special effects and all kinds of stuff going on, no. But with me collecting news on the devices that are coming sooner than many of you might think. As most of you know, or maybe you don't, Samsung has an Unpacked event. Pretty much the event where they showcase their fall lineup of mobile technology and accessories. Now, this event is set for August 5th. It's going to be a virtual event. Very little actual press or media, if any, will be there at all. I assume it will be something like what Apple had when they were showing off their new software and their switch in the silicon that will power their next generation of Macs. So at this Unpacked event, as Samsung calls it, their lineup will include the Note 20, amongst their foldables. Samsung is the leader in foldable mobile technology as of sales right now. They have the Galaxy Fold, they have the Galaxy Z Flip. Both of them are what the world was looking forward to in the mobile space. The Fold got off to a rough start at first. As we know, the first batch had to be recalled. A lot of cellular providers and carriers didn't want to sell the device as it was uncharted territory, and they pulled back. It was very hard to get one unless you paid full price. You know, the carriers, they always have these much easier installments when it comes to these devices. It's easier to get into one. The Fold didn't have those perks, but then Samsung came out with the Galaxy Z Flip. Pretty much a folding device. I was more akin to a regular phone that folded in half, and it folded along the horizontal line, becoming somewhat of a clamshell from yesteryear, with a full-on touchscreen when you open it up. This phone became very popular. Everyone was talking about it. Those who did get a chance to get one all praised the device. It had a foldable glass. It was a very thin layer, so it wasn't as fragile as the Galaxy Fold before it. And people liked that it was more usable in one hand, more one-hand friendly. Flip it, do it yourself, close it, and be done. Now, at this Unpacked event, Samsung is going to announce the next iteration of both their Galaxy Fold and their Galaxy Z Flip. Both will now be under the Z moniker, so it's going to be called the Galaxy Z Fold 2 and the Galaxy Z Flip 5G. These phones are set to be announced August 5th. And if you haven't been paying any attention, Samsung has already officially announced one of them. The Galaxy Z Flip was announced this week. Officially, the phone will be coming out to be purchased August 7th. That's what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks and change? That's amazing. Before the event even happens, they're letting you know the next foldable to hit the market will be available for purchase in just over 2 weeks. They have the price. The price is set at $1,450, $1,450. If memory serves, the original Z Flip was $1,380. So this phone is $70 more or so. One would question why. Well, from what I've read, from what I've seen, because the leaks began to come in at a torrent, or like a torrent, the flow just kept on coming through all the tweets and the sites. The Samsung Z Flip 5G is pretty much the original phone with a minimal spec bump. The Z Flip already had the 865 Qualcomm chip, but now it has the 5G modem on the inside. That might be the most significant change in the entire device, because the device is not that old. What I got mine in February. It was released February 14th on Valentine's Day. And I got mine on that day, and I kept it for a decent amount of time. I did return it. The phone simply didn't fit my particular workflow, how I like to use the devices. There was no place for it. But while I had it, I was able to say, you know what? It was pretty much a Galaxy S20 that you could fold in half. Maybe a little, actually, yeah, it was. Same chipsets, same cameras. Certain software elements weren't there, but it was a decent device. It was the Samsung device that you showed off to friends and family when you wanted to show off that you had a phone that could fold in half, and they did not. Also to be announced at this event is the Galaxy Z Fold 2. Now, the original Fold didn't have the Z moniker attached to it, so when I heard they were going to attach it, it was a little awkward to me. The original is the Galaxy Fold. The successor is the Galaxy Z Fold 2, but I see they want to keep all their foldable devices in the family, so I guess that is fine. Now, I have been a user of the Galaxy Fold since its re-release, and I have talked about the phone. I have defended the phone this entire time, and I have set the claim that mobile phones are the future of mobile devices. So I do look forward to the Galaxy Z Fold 2 to see exactly what changes they implemented to try to ensure that the issues from the original's release don't haunt the release of the second coming of the device. Now, again, leaks have come forth with the Z Fold 2. We have seen images. We got a price. Again, we got the date, or what the date probably will be. We even got some specs for the device. Now, none of these have been made official by Samsung, but the leaks did come from very reputable reputable mobile device speakers. So when I do read things from them, or I see others that have published their tweets and such, though they tend to say take it with a grain of salt, I take it with a very little grain of salt, because these leakers have been pretty much correct with all of the info they have given on past devices. So the Galaxy Z Fold 2 is supposed to come in at the same price as the original. Again, it's not overly surprising, because the original device was $1,980, pretty much $2,000 for a mobile phone. But it was such a unique device that, at least to me, the price was completely worth it. I still use my Galaxy Fold as my daily device, and I really can't see myself without it. Is it my primary device? I've always said it's my primary secondary device, because I always have another device on hand that pretty much is the first device I pull from the pocket, for no other reason than it's easier to use one-handed. So for quick things, that gets pulled out. For everything else, I use my Fold. Now, the Z Fold 2 is said to have the same foldable glass as the original Z Flip. That would be a godsend, simply because, again, it would make the phone less fragile to use. That was a thorn in the side of the original Fold. It was one of the reasons that many were skeptical when it came to even the thought of making the purchase. My phone is in pretty much perfect condition. I've had it since day one. My extremely fragile screen has had no issues. My phone has had no issues. I would say that it works pretty much just as well now as it did when I first got the phone. Quality made. The software update from Android 9 to Android 10 only boosted the performance of the device and made the multitasking that the phone is known for even more usable. Along with the foldable glass that they say the Z Fold 2 will have, they've moved, from what I've seen in the image, they've moved the front-facing camera sensor on the inside glass. Now, I wasn't able to see too clear what they did put there. I think it's a hole punch camera. Some people had claimed it would be an under-display camera, but I'm pretty sure that if that was the case, the leaks would have said as much. But to my knowledge, there's a hole punch camera at the side, getting rid of this huge notch in the middle that many complain about. The notch worked just fine for me. Yes, it did cut off certain aspects of my games or what I was watching, but not so much so that I couldn't use the phone in its unfolded form. They also said that the outer screen, another issue that many complain about, is now the width of the entire front, or almost the entire front. Now, I have mixed feelings about this, only because I think this screen is pretty much fine. Being able to reach the whole screen with my thumb relatively easy makes it very suitable for one-handed use when I use the phone as such. With a screen that long, I'm back to having to stretch my thumb, stretch my finger all over. I would imagine it would be somewhat bothersome to use. Now, that won't negate me, or that won't stop me from trying to get the phone. As always, I want to see where they go with these things. I have one, to have two won't be an issue for me. But personally, I think the enlarging of The screen, depending on how big it is, could go either way. Too large will make it bothersome. If it's just right where using the phone with my thumb doesn't turn into an exercise of finger, thumb stretch across the entire front, I'll be happy. That'll be great. Now, I also read that the chipset will be a Snapdragon 865 Plus. That is the right now the world's most powerful Android chipset. It can be overclocked, so many things to run your games, so better performance in games, in apps, running multiple apps. It does allow for 5G, so the new iteration of the Fold will be a 5G device. There was a 5G device for the original Fold. It wasn't released in America by any carrier. You had to buy it unlocked, but now all of them will be 5G devices. And what else was there? The camera array will be that of the Note 20, where even, let's say, the S10 or the S20 Plus with the large rectangular square camera array at the back. I'm not much into mobile photography. Give me a phone with a good camera. I won't go into all of the details of the camera, as long as the pictures it takes are impressive to me, I'm happy. I got my Pixel 3a simply for the camera, and the camera has yet to disappoint me. So if the new Note, even the Note, but if the new Z Fold 2 has a camera anywhere in the ballpark of the newer Samsung phones like the S20 Ultra or the new Note, I'll be happy with that. I don't need the best camera, I just need a good camera to take my videos and pictures that I do. So the foldables, two from Samsung, will be announced August 5th. Well, one has already been officially announced, but they did say they were going to announce 5 devices on that day. We already know about the 2 Note 20s that are supposed to be unveiled at the Unpacked event. The Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra. And we know of the Galaxy Z Fold 2 and the Galaxy Z Flip 5G. But what is the 5th device they are said to be unveiling that day? Some have speculated that it might be a cheaper version to the Galaxy Z Fold 2, a light version per se, a more affordable version that may not come with the foldable glass. It may not have the outside screen. It may not have the more powerful chipset. It might have a camera that doesn't perform as well. You know, Samsung may find a way to cut corners on the device to lower the overall price of it. On the other end of that spectrum, they might have an even more premium device than the Galaxy Z Fold 5G is supposed to be. Perhaps an Ultra version. Yeah, that seems to be their thing. They either go down or they go up. In some cases, they go both. The Lite and the Ultra. Now, perhaps the Ultra version might be the rumored S Pen wielding Galaxy Fold device with the screen that can take the constant pressure of an S Pen pushing against it without getting any type of damage to the display. The one that has the even more overclocked 865 chipset, or maybe a more powerful Exynos chipset though from what I hear, those aren't the most dependable chips when it comes to Samsung's devices. But suffice to say, they did announce there will be 5 devices announced that day, and these devices do not include the new Galaxy Watch that they are supposed to announce, and the Galaxy Buds Live that are also said to be announced. These are 5 separate phones that are to be announced, so we'll just have to wait and see exactly what comes of it. But again, I am excited about that. Now, we know that 2 of those devices are the 2 Notes that are coming. There's the Note 20 Ultra and the regular Note 20. They did release, or there were leaks on these 2 phones. The Ultra, again, is the better spec phone of the 2. The regular Note 20, they found ways to cut costs. The back is plastic. The screen isn't curved. Certain things look like that. Many have actually said the Note 20 is the light version of the Note 20 Ultra. The way I see it, if the price reflects that light version, I'd be much happier with the light Note 20 if I was to get one. But they will most likely be following their design cues from their other newer Samsung phones, which means no headphone jack. And a lot of the perks that my Note 8 and the Note 9 had will also be missing, like the iris scanner to unlock, again, the headphone jack, and other little things that just aren't there. So the Note line is no longer my preferred line of mobile device. I am going with my foldables, because at least the foldable devices, they are the test for the future of mobile phones. They really try to bring something different to the table when it comes to these pocket computers that we all carry around, and I like that differentiation in the mobile space. You have your slab phones that have been around forever. Now you have an entirely new category, foldable phones, that can do everything these slabs can do, and then so much more. Also announced this week, well, not announced, but news has been leaked. The Microsoft Surface Duo, arguably the foldable phone I'm most excited about this fall. There have been many pictures leaked from those who work at Microsoft. I don't remember their names, but they have shown pictures with them using the device in their homes, out and about. There was a leak with someone on a train had one. It had beta software running, so it jumped around as he used it. But that is par for the course. That video was taken some months ago. I'm sure they made much headway since that video debuted. I think it was just yesterday, the phone went through the FCC. Most times when a phone goes through with the FCC, it's only a few weeks away from being launched. The FCC is one of the final stops that it goes through to get all of its certifications. And if the Surface Duo has had its time there, the launch is imminent. Now, again, not much is known about the Surface Duo. We've all seen images. We've all seen examples of the new software. via the Surface Duo MU later. There's a very good video on YouTube where someone goes through everything that it can do thus far with the software that they have. Microsoft is working with Google themselves to try to optimize at least the Google apps to work on their dual screen. If you were unaware, the Surface Duo is much like the Galaxy Fold, except it's two separate screens with a very thin hinge in the middle. So you have your screen on the left, screen on the right, and you can move stuff across from screen to screen, and it closes like a book or a folder. There's no screen on the outside, so your device is completely protected. I don't know about the camera array on the back. I'm not sure what that is. So the phone itself will probably be announced within the next few weeks with its release. I have heard September to October. Some have even speculated mid to late August to go up against the release of the Galaxy Z Fold 2. Now, personally, like I said, I am very excited for the Microsoft Surface Duo. Nothing against the Z Fold 2. That one has my interest peaked as well. And I'm very excited to see what that phone has to bring to the mobile space. With that said, this is NG, the Neon X, and foldable phones, and the future of mobile phones. This is what I'm into.